I think what's interesting for the character of Nina Sharp between the first and the second season is what we found out in the beginning in the pilot, that Nina had a bionic arm. We find out at the very last episode that she also appears to have sort of Kevlar chest cavity in some way, because having been shot, she was able to wake up and function within minutes. We go from there to Olivia having crossed over because of a phone call from Nina, and her coming back and being in trouble, and Nina starting to become involved with her. There's always been a very protective quality from Nina towards Olivia. For what reason? Who knows? What is the connection? Is it there is a real connection, or is it just she sees herself, or we don't know. I think there's some history there that we'll discover. And now it's curious to find out, is Nina getting involved with Olivia for Olivia's benefit or for some other kind of ulterior motive of Nina's? And that, to me, is the beauty of the writing of Fringe, is that it's always, everything that you find out raises more questions. It's always ambiguous. And I think that's what makes it so intriguing to play, and I think it's what makes it intriguing to watch. You know, to describe Fringe is difficult, because I'm not a person who likes to say, well, it's like, this and this. However, with a show as unusual as this, I would say, yes, it has aspects of X-Files. It has aspects of Altered States, which oddly was the first movie I ever made. It has a sci-fi aspect. It has a thriller, like a John le Carré kind of quality to it that is now, kind of more modern and leaps over realities. I think the thing that's been most interesting to find about this show is that I always knew that kid, like my son, my stepson, found it very interesting. They're in their 20s, and it's like I knew this show was for them. But what's been curious to me is the number of people of all ages. People come up to me in supermarkets, a mother, with kids who loves the show, an older gentleman I met in an airport. You kind of go, well, this is kind of jumping past the usual demographics. I think the characters are rich enough and the situations are have enough ripples that it draws a lot of people in who might normally say, oh, I don't like sci-fi, or I don't like something. This is kind of bigger than that. Nina's relationship with the Fringe division begins in the second season of helping Broyles, trying to find out if she can help Broyles save the Fringe division. Because I think what's happened is now the Fringe element that's been let loose, Jones and all the things that are starting to happen with the Observer and perhaps other observers, is things are out of control, and it's too big for massive dynamic. I think when we started, there was a sense of massive dynamic saying, you carry on, but we've got things under control. And I think now that's started to explode, and that we need each other, and that I'm pushing Broyles to make sure to save that division, because we need all the resources and all the intelligence that we can get to try and calm this down or get it back under control. What do I know about the pattern? I know some things, but if I told you, they would have to kill me. So I can't tell you anything about the pattern, really. The pattern is just something we're all going to have to work very, very hard and piece together over many, many years. Well, it's interesting. I think Nina and Broyles, Lance and I talked a lot last year because we had a lot of scenes together. And there was not any subtext, and there was nothing that we knew about. So we started to sort of invent that there was a connection from the past. Clearly the writers had already figured that out, but we were actors just trying to. So I think, particularly in the first season, most of us tried to imbue so much meaning and knowledge and history into things that we have no idea how it